Hello. Everybody remembers being young, playing on their relative's farm, thinking someday they'd like to be a soldier or a farmer, and they'd like to travel the world. Everybody's had thoughts like that when they were young, or similar thoughts. And one of my goals in life was to live on an acreage. And although I feel that I've met that goal to some extent, I'd like to live on another acreage again someday. And my other two goals were that I would like to stay in the military for 20 years. And my third goal was that I'd like to visit Europe someday. As a small child, I loved farming and being in the countryside. So when I moved to Iowa a few years ago, I lived on an acreage for about 6 months. And it reminded me of being a young child on the farm. And I'd like to continue to fulfill that goal by moving to another acreage someday. In addition to being a child and loving farming and being in the countryside, I also loved the military and wanted to join the military someday. So in 2003, when I turned 17, I joined the military, and I set a goal of 20 years that I'd like to stay in, because you get more retirement benefits when you stay in for 20 years. And I also have a family background in the military. My father spent 20 years in the National Guard, and my grandfather also spent 2 years in the Army during the Korean War. He spent most of his time in Alaska, though. And since I've joined the military, I visited just about every state in the continental USA. But I'd also like to visit Europe someday, whether it's with the military or on my personal time. I met some German farmers on an internet forum once, and they got me interested in visiting Europe. So I set a goal that I'd like to visit Europe someday. And my ancestors, who lived in Germany, farmed near a village called Klessburg. So I decided that it'd be interesting to see tourist attractions nearby Klessburg. And in addition to Germany, I'd like to see Russia, Ireland, and England, because I also have ancestors from those areas. And in conclusion, the acreage reminds me of being a young boy, and so I'd like to live on another acreage someday. And the other two goals are just a matter of setting the effort and time aside to achieve them, which were staying in the military for 20 years and visiting Europe. And in addition, I'd like to say that anybody can achieve and relive a childhood memory. They just gotta set a goal and put the time and effort into achieving it. Thank you.